Question. Welcome to Tongren therapy. One in the world can receive healing energy session or therapy on the TAM healing system. So we will work our process, which is to enhance blood flow to the brain, then work on the body, sympathetic and sympathetic systems, and to ideally just remove blockages. That's our goal. So we'll begin right away. Welcome everyone. Good to see all my friends. We will start here. Our first person, we have Nice Human. We also have in our audience, we have Esther and Catherine. So let's begin for everyone. So I want everybody ideally take a deep breath, relax, sit with your feet flat on the floor, palms face up. Breathing always in through the nose. That increases oxygen by 20%. And we can do a 4-4-8 breath for everyone. So you're going to do a breathe in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 8 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your relaxation response. It activated. Blood flow to the brain. And hello to everyone also on Instagram. And I'll sit back a little bit to give more space so people can see my hands. Blood flow to the brain. Hypothalamus, pituitary, sensory cortex, and motor cortex. So in many ways, the hypothalamus is the starting point for the central nervous system as well as the endocrine system. Kind of an interface between the brain and the communication systems of the entire body. So we have a recent diagnosis of glioblastoma and is awaiting surgery to have the tumor removed in San Francisco. So I definitely recommend looking up HUISH, a woman who took care of her brain tumors with inhalations of frankincense and other essential oils. So take a look at HUISH because the healing therapy of essential oils can be brought into the sinuses and then into the brain. Frankincense is a known anti-cancer essential oil. So our goal would be 3 parts of increasing blood flow. Carotid artery, vertebral artery, occipital artery. Blood flow, nerve flow, C1, C2, and craniosacral flow. So if the person is in San Francisco, we could organize doing remote treatments through myself. I don't know of any practitioners specifically in San Francisco, but I bet there are some. The other option, which I do for people as well, is if they have a local person, such as an acupuncturist or a massage therapist, I jump on Zoom with them and explain them the advanced points that we use so they can get local support. So anti-inflammation, and for all cancers, oxygen, which is the phrenic nerve, and CV17. And then grounding and the ground points. So let's do everything related to the brain to support the brain awakening. GP13, right side, left side. GB789 for the cranial nerve areas. And then grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And next we will work with Esther and Catherine. Okay. So next, Esther. Okay. We have Instagram is the heavy place. So, Jacqueline, welcome. How you doing? So we'll work with Esther, then we work with some specific things I've been reading about fertility. There are a few people looking into fertility. The castor oil packs on the belly, there are specific fertility packs ready-made with some essential oils for that specific situation. So let's definitely get together, Jacqueline. And if you are available for next year, I'm kind of scheduling things in advance, and I know how valuable your time is. The person I'm talking about right now is she does the Monday Tongren Station awesome super duper great Tongren session 6 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays. I highly recommend it. That is Jacqueline and Yvonne. So I'm organizing schedules for next year. We'll do specific interviews, ideally with basically the people that are really proactive about working with Tongren and spreading Tongren. Next year, do some interviews with Jacqueline, with Dr. Wheatgrass, the relaxator, breathing expert, with Dr. Group, and Eli, a person with a very advanced cancer treatment strategy called BioHawk. So for Esther, we have pain, bladder, PTSD, fertility, ear infection, and lungs. For her and her daughter-in-law. And for Catherine, we have the eyes and gallstones. So blood flow to the brain. 3 blood supplies. And now our nerve supplies, C3. Blood pressure for the eyes, GB17. Amy and Henry are in San Francisco, and Jean is in Sacramento. And Julie. Yeah, let me know how things are going, Julie. I think we have some other people. Tongren Station, Live at Fuller. Great. For pain, T123478. I do have one announcement. Thank you very much for everyone for your birthday wishes. I'm 37 again. So may sound like I'm repeating a lot, but if I now, based upon even research, an entire book on castor oil, all these different things, clay and castor oil, that pair of things is quite profound, quite profound. And believe it or not, it has a similar thread to the Tam healing system and Tongren. It's quite fascinating. Common element of advanced healing in many, many different modalities. Make sure I get this correct. The eyes for the ouch point for Catherine. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the pain for Esther. And if anybody's out there, there's still time to sign up for the Be Your Own Healer workshop, especially if you have the supplies. If you don't, that's okay too. But it gives you a scientific basis, a structure for treatment, and lots of case studies. We just do hands-on work with each other so that you can get some momentum for treating yourselves, which I recommend for everyone, and treating others. So that's this Saturday from 1 to 5. Additional anti-inflammation and pain, microbiome, B11, B12, and let me see real quick. And we will have the background music, frequencies, which promote
on any given
healing.
Tuesday night.
Once the commercial is over,
in New York City.
3, 2, 1, 0, skip ads. There you go. So for the eyes, also the liver. And I'll turn that down just a little bit. This is whole body regeneration, 528 hertz frequencies, emotional and physical healing. So what you can do is, for people that are sitting out in the audience, close your mind, close your eyes, and focus on your area for healing. This frequency is a carrier wave for healing, and then your mind will deliver healing energy, and I will open up blockages to enhance the release and receiving of all those healing frequencies. Thanks, Doug. Another year around the sun. So let's make sure we get everything for the eyes. Facial artery as well, trigeminal nerve, also for the eyes. And the arteries. Overgrowth of leaky blood vessels. GV17, growth hormone. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Castor oil packs are not recommended if people do not want to go into labor early. But if you do want to go into labor and having difficulty, the castor oil packs actually accelerate that. T7 and the bladder points of the sacral area for Esther, T7, T1, 2, 3, 4, 5. L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm sorry. So L3 for fertility, L3 and L4. S1 to S5 for the bladder. And we want to also work on the area T7, blood flow and nerve flow for T10, 9, 10, 11 for gallstones. Additional for Esther, we have ear infections in the lungs. So let's do blood flow, nerve flow, C3, C4 for the ears, and T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for infections. And the lungs. So we will do 3 points for the lungs. T3 for the lungs. And the Chinese lung points, lung 1, lung 2. Blood flow to the brain, also for Augustina. And next, we have Julie, and then Livet Fuller, Jacqueline, and Augustina. So blood flow to the brain. And hello, Scott. Did you want to join this weekend yourself? Be your own healer and the breathing workshops. That's right. Let me make a note. And I think I got all your questions answered. If there are more and I missed it, I'll just send it again and we'll get through it. Hello, Tracy and Michael. Good to see you. Command points of the brain. So for MS, most likely cause is misdiagnosed Epstein-Barr virus. And believe it or not, that is also a part of the HIV/AIDS situation as well. But for MS, we want to work on inflammation, things that can enhance viral infections such as MS, Parkinson's, ALS, misdiagnosed situations. Things that feed those things are bacteria, toxins, fats, and cortisol. So you want to reduce those, and then you want to bind to toxins and all those things. You want to reduce the fats in your diet. And also clay, which I always recommend, will actually negatively impact viruses in the body, kind of disrupts their mineral balance in their body. It would be just like you and I walking by a super strong magnet. And then it would actually probably start to pull our electrolytes possibly out of the body or disrupt them, and many things could mess us up. So anti-inflammation for MS, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. As a preventative maintenance part of MS, lots of B12. Even if it says it's normal, do extra. That will preserve the life of your nerves so they don't degrade more from the condition, because the viruses eat fat. The fat is the layer of myelin sheath. Then the myelin sheath gets eaten up by the viruses and exposes it and causes a lot of pain. And again, for a couple of people, for fertility, hypothalamus, pituitary, ovaries. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for MS. Detoxing for MS, which would be the liver, the microbiome, and the kidneys. For everyone for detoxing, you see we do have another person who's very interested in detoxing, who sounds like saturated with chemicals. So when you're full, then you get any more, you're over the edge, overfilling your body tolerance for any more chemicals. So you need to detox, cleanse, clay, ozonated magnesium oxides, all these different things to cleanse and clear the body, so that you'll have a tolerance like most of us have for the environmental impacts of toxicity, which we have on a regular basis. Hard to avoid. So Eric, so we got Julie's MS all set. And for the MS, CV17, CV4, stomach 36, spleen 6, liver 3, and kidney 1. Can people hear the tone, 528? And is it too loud? Does coffee detox? That's a great question. Depends on how you use it. Coffee itself, like so many things, is technically a little bit of a toxin. All herbs have toxins in them because that's a defense. That's a natural defense against predators and the environment. So that certain level of toxins is actually good. Coffee used as coffee enemas is very detoxing. Coffee in general is not detoxing, it's dehydrating. And it is mineral pulling, mineral reducing in the body. So it depends on how you use it. So we've got the brain tumor, we've got the person. So we will work with Next, we will work with Jay and Augustina. Yes, and I have a recording on my phone of a really cool happy birthday jingle. Thank you very much. Blood flow to the brain. From Jay, TV 1920, 2122. J Pillow, GB17, BL9. So for the brain tumor, 3 blood supplies. And let me know how Augustine is doing. He's scheduled to go to New York almost any day, I think. Yes, Great Platelets. That sounds like a rock and roll band. The Great Platelets of Chicago. Yay. And here they are. But your last tests were all stellar, if I remember correctly. So I'm grateful for that. Blood flow to the brain for Augustina. Sky window, vertebral artery, and occipital artery. Oh, quick question, Marie. Do you like mushrooms? Vertebral artery, spinal artery, and brain stem area. Let's really focus on the brain stem for Augustina. And I hope she's doing great. Good volume for the music. And hello to Augustina. Brainstem area, blood flow to the brain, and oxygenation of the body. So that's the phrenic nerve and the diaphragm, CV17 and T6. So get it from both sides. And for J, T11, T12, L4, L5, S1 to S5, tailbone 1 to 4. So we'll do a couple of things for the group. A lymph tune-up and a cranial sacral fluid tune-up. CV4. For the gut, microbiome, colon. So if you're still around, listening, sit relaxed, use your mind to increase energy to specific areas, and be empowered for the possibilities of healing. That's one of the most important things you can do, is don't ever give up. That's the homework for everybody here. We are not allowed, we all have a contract of never giving up, which is great. And think of all the possibilities. Things even which I myself have reversed. Believe it or not, asthma, brain tumor, benign, scoliosis for the most part, thyroid conditions, metabolism issues. It works if you work it, they say. Okay, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So let's work with specifically Tracy McDermott for digestive health. So let's begin with blood flow to the brain, part 1. Brain command points. Brainstem command points. And every time with the brainstem, we'll think of Augustina to clear that up. The two parts, the brainstem, the medulla and the cerebellum. Vertebral artery, spinal artery. So we work on digestion and the kidney tumor, right elbow and arm pain. C1 to C7 in the brachial plexus for the elbow and arm. The nerve source, the elbows and the arms for a magnificent citizen. Digestive health and immunity, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Tracy. So platelets, start with T1 for the bones. Bone marrow is the factory for these things. T7 and T12 for digestion. L1, 2, 3 again for fertility for everyone. T7, blood flow and nerve flow, T3. Blood flow, T7, nerve flow, L3. And we do have a request also for Hashimoto's. Okay, so Augustina, she's doing great, getting ready to travel for a test. I'll pray for Augustina to be well. Whatever the result is, we can work with it and we will make it okay. She's a good kid, she's strong, she'll be okay. We'll be having her in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. As she goes for additional testing. And we're going to work on sound sleep for a couple of people. Tracy and Michaels. There are specific frequencies you can play for helping with sleep. You can do, if If you're able to do self-hypnosis, that's another option. There's actually a really cool sleep device, PEMF they call it, pulse electromagnetic frequency, which basically is the frequencies of our brains and our bodies to bring us back into that state for relaxation. So for sleep, C1, C2, GB13, relax the monkey mind, and in Tong, third eye area, pituitary. Blood flow to the brain, blood flow and nerve flow down the spine. So let's do an extra part for Happy Mama and for Marie for blood, perfect blood as we call it. G1 for the bones, GB39 for the bones, and then the craniosacral therapy frequency fluid, GB789. Craniosacral fluid down to T1, T7, tailbone 1 to 4. And to balance things out, yin yang, sympathetic, speed up, fight or flight, yang, yin, parasympathetic, vagus nerve, rest and digest. Vagus nerve, GB12, gut brain axis, GB12, CB12. And we won't miss Leslie McQueenie either. Grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. So we did work on the kidney tumor and the oxygen, and then the right elbow and arm. We'll do that also in addition. So Hashimoto's, Carlos Hashimoto's, blood flow to the brain, and then we'll work on detoxing. Blood flow to the brain, GB 19, 20, 21, 22. Detox from very bad chemical and mold exposures. So the detox organs: spleen, T7, lymph, T3, liver, T9, kidneys, L2. So those are the detox organs. So let's work on the sinuses and the lung infections. So C3, L3, and inflammation T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. A great technique is really localized anti-inflammatory technique for the sinuses and the lungs is make a steam tent add in some essential oils like oregano and eucalyptus. Put a towel over your head and inhale that. It is antiseptic and it goes directly in and it will make you feel great and breathing. So T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Also for the inflammation. But yes, get into some supplements for the detoxing, especially the clay. Get a hair analysis, and they can also subscribe a series of specific supplements for specific metals and toxins that you may have in the system. That's called ARL Company. So again, sleep, circadian rhythms. Blood flow to the brain, and then the brain blood flow to the spine. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for pain relief for Leslie. So for cognitive function, GB13, left side, right side, in Tong, third eye, connecting to our higher self. So for a circadian rhythm disorder, we have to think what creates that rhythm? And if it isn't corrected by light, which works on these different things, it must be dealing with the endocrine system for misrepresenting light and dark. For something like that, this is, as I mentioned before, what I would do, delayed sleep phase syndrome, I would just stay awake for a couple of days. And then on the second day at sunset, go into a room really dark and sleep. Try to reboot that rhythm. You can try hormone balancing with herbs, ashwagandha, of course melatonin, which you've probably tried already. And we have Patty C as well. So again, cognitive function, C1, C2, GB13, left and right sides, got window blood flow to the brain. There's a great green algae recommendations called Brain On by E3 Live Company for cognitive support. All right, blood flow to the brain. So good things to detox are bitter herbs because they are also slightly toxic, but only enough to really detox the liver. So bitter herbs, there are remedies, or you can eat bitter herbs directly, like dandelion greens, spinach, collards, arugula, those types of things. They are really good for detoxing the liver as well. And of course, a castor oil pack on the liver. artery to the spinal artery. Hashimoto's, we work on that now. Hashimoto's is also probably a misdiagnosed Epstein-Barr virus. Then there is degradation. The body attacks it to clean it up. Allopathic doctors call it an autoimmune condition because you're attacking yourself, but it's actually only trying to clean up destruction created by the virus. So Epstein-Barr virus, there are tinctures for that. So let's work on blood flow and nerve flow for the thyroid. Deficiencies in iodine can also exacerbate it to make it even worse. So I would highly recommend sea vegetables. C6, C7 for nerve flow, vertebral artery for blood flow, and also superior and inferior thyroid arteries. And the outer point of the thyroid itself. So the hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, and the HPA axis, another axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenals, and grounding to liver 3. So we're going to do the craniosacral flow, and then we'll do clear and calm mind for everyone, and sinuses, and then we will be all set. How to use clay, pack or eat. You can do all of those things. And I missed two. Shoulder pain and anxiety and depression and autism. Liam. So Liam has increased verbal communication. I'd like to hear more about that. So I'm very happy. If you could give more detail on that, that would be awesome. It would be great to hear about that. So ways to use clay baths, clay foot soaks, clay poultices, which is like a long-term mud pack, and clay drinking. So these are alkalizing, mineralizing, bone-building, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-cancer ways to approach lifestyle changes. Blood flow to the brain. QB13 for anxiety and depression. So in terms of verbal communication, there's something else that I read about recently, which you can add into your perspective of how you work on communication. Typically we work, and let's do it now, the Broca and Wernicke areas, language acquisition and language production or speech production. And then also in the cerebellum is a connection they found recently in science that a commander, it's kind of like a command point for speech, which would be EL9. The other things that can help with verbal communication is detoxing, which would be detox smoothies, detox foods like cilantro, chlorella, and sea vegetables, and of course clay therapy as well. So anxiety, GB13, and depression, since most neurotransmitters are generated in the gut, check for constipation and T11, T12, L4, L5. Blood flow to the brain for increased verbal communication. And we also need to still work on the right shoulder pain, which we'll do that right now. Blood flow to the brain and blood flow to the shoulders, vertebral artery, to the spinal artery, to the shoulders. All the shoulder arteries. Right shoulder in particular. So the question is, which sea vegetables? Really great sea vegetables to munch on. I just got some. Dulse flakes, if you want to put them in soups and salads and dressings. Nori, raw wild nori is always preferred, but dulse nori, wakame is good depending upon the source. But sea vegetables should be a regular part of everybody's diet, and I'll tell you why. I've just been reading a lot about how the food we eat is not as nourishing or nutrient dense as the same food we had with our parents' generation. So therefore, we need to increase our nutrient density in things like sprouts, sea vegetables, leafy greens, fruit, nuts, and seed. Everything sprouted as much as possible. Sea vegetables, because it's the most mineral dense food on the planet. Sea vegetables. Large Hansen, the seaweed man, if you look him up in northern Maine, has the best wild harvested seaweed probably on the planet. Of course, I'm not familiar with Europe and Asia, but it's a cold, ice cold water, northern Atlantic. It's very good. Vertebral artery, spinal artery. So if someone has anxiety or depression, ask how the gut's doing, the microbiome, and if there's constipation, then that will help to generate more neurotransmitters, happy hormones for the brain. And good luck to Liam. Haven't talked to you guys in a while. My friend wrote a book on autism. She is a speech pathologist as well, but works a lot with nutrition and autism for many years. Her name is Karen Ramsey. So let's continue to work on the shoulder. Increase verbal communication. Happy to help. So, vertebral artery, let's go to blood flow to the brain and calm and peaceful mind for everyone. Vertebral artery, spinal artery, and C3 for the sinuses, eyes and ears, and sinuses for everyone, C3, C4. Anti-inflammation for pain for everyone. Oxygenation for all cancer and inflammation. Phrenic nerve, CV17 and T6. Yes, I wish you were talking more too. So let's all hope and pray for Liam to speak more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Number 1 to 5, microbiome, anti-inflammation for everyone. And vagus nerve, phrenic nerve, down the torso. The gut-brain axis, GB12, CV12. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Oh yeah, one extra point for the sinuses, GB23, 24. If you put pressure there, it will drain the sinuses. Another good thing for everyone for sinuses and sinus is a tea called Flemonade. Yes, PHELGMNMONAD, Flemonade, from a company called Jeans Greens. So everybody sit and relax. Charge the battery, the dantian or chakra areas. As you hear this frequency, right in body and frequency, brainwave entrainment. Okay, and we have a comment. Thank you. The blend, I love the blend of Tongren and nutrition. Anything possible to support the core mission, reducing inflammation, increasing bioelectricity, detoxification, mind, body, spirit integration, all those things. It can come from many directions. Herbs, Tongren, acupuncture, massage therapy, Reiki, all these different ways. But as long as they meet the criteria of working on the core healing part of the body, they're all good. So, thank you. And we will do our clearing and our entrainment right now. Thank you all for your time. We are finishing exactly on time. Blessings to all of you. Be kind to one another. The healing heart of compassion is the greatest method and connection to heal and to work on our global community, health, healing, and awakening. Thank you very much, and it's my opportunity, my privilege to be here, and opportunity to be here with all of you. Thank you, and have a great day, and have a great weekend. Bye now.